Hi, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from the Vancouver, Washington, Portland, Oregon area. Quick note on today. If you had plans to be outdoors, we had the Shamrock Run this morning in Portland. Turned out to be the absolute best case scenario. And we talked about the fact last time we spoke on Friday that there was at least a chance that the rain edge with the front would be south of Portland Sunday morning, and we would either have showers or some light rain, or maybe just kind of escape the rain. And that turned out to be the case. Very little rain in Portland today at all. It was mostly down to our south. Now, I'm going to spend time kind of looking forward, of course, this upcoming week, but the Northwest outlook into April for Oregon and Washington. And the number one headline, at least in the next 2 to 3 weeks, more cold, low snow levels to come. And by low snow levels, more of what we have been seeing. A number of storms coming in where the snow level is going to be 2,000 feet or even lower. And we've had a number of mornings lately where some areas in our region have had snow down to about 1,000 feet. So that type of thing continues with these colder than normal rain systems coming in. So, just a snapshot of one of the systems that's showing up, and there will be many. This is Sunday, the 23rd. So that's this a week from today. And you can see a cold low offshore, see the blue contour. Here it is again down into central Oregon. That's the polar jet. So again, this is another cold system where you would assume the snow level would be at least 2,000 feet, and we would have the chance of some decent measurable rainfall out of that here in the valley. Now, on the flip side, and it's a ways out, but all of the models to varying degrees are showing that once we get into about April 7th or April 8th, we go on a run of a good week of a strong upper level high pressure ridge that would bring sunny days and temperatures well up into the 70s. So here's the European model, which is probably the warmest of the ones I've been looking at today. This is mean high temperature departures starting on Wednesday, April 9th and going through Wednesday, April 16th. So going into the second and the third week of April, basically. And look at this, departures of +7 to +8 from really Seattle all the way down through Portland, even down into Eugene and even Southern Oregon. There's a departure of 8.5 degrees Fahrenheit above normal and pretty mild weather across all of Oregon and Washington. So again, I think the rest of March is pretty active, but then we get past the first 5 or 6 days of April, and there appears to be, if things hold, this little run of really sunny, warm weather, which compared to the below normal run that we've been on would feel really, really great, right? Okay. So my videos, as always, are brought to you by the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Pardon me. Listen on Apple Podcasts and listen on Spotify. You can choose from a variety of different investment topics. Okay. Let's get you going. And let's start with the radar. This is at 6 o'clock on this Sunday evening. So the clouds in the front, mostly light rain, did in fact kind of stall near to south of Salem and down to Eugene. But even down here, the rain rates have been really light. Some scattered showers have been mainly north of Kelso Longview. Haven't seen much in Portland. We continue a scattered shower chance tonight. Um, Although I don't expect to see much, and we certainly continue a scattered shower chance tomorrow. Here's a look at the satellite picture. Low pressure system offshore. You can see the cloud fetch covering all of Oregon and at least the southern half of Washington. I do believe this thick cloud base will get out of here going into Monday morning, and that will allow Monday to be a sunbreak day, at least a sunbreak afternoon, and those sunbreaks would then fuel scattered showers. And while we don't look to be as unstable as we were back when we had the hail showers on Thursday of last week, I think it was. Remember the snow level tomorrow is at, I'm looking at my notes, about 2,000 feet. So that means you've got cold air freezing levels fairly low. And if we get decent cumulus development tomorrow, while I don't think we'd have thunder and lightning, you can't say no, but I don't think we will. It would fuel the chance being decent of some spotty hail showers. Again, that's on Monday. Okay, here's what the National Blended Model Future Radar product looks like. We know from current radar that the rain down in Eugene and this area is actually pretty light, scattered showers up to the north. So this basically shows at 5 p.m. this afternoon what the radar is showing. And if you just play it into tomorrow morning, again, the rain mainly holds Eugene and southward, but it even breaks up a little bit. And then we go into Monday afternoon. Here we are at 5 p.m. Monday afternoon. This shows a wave of pretty good shower activity. Some in the valley, some at the coast, and then showers just really hunkering down over the Cascades. So if this is true, there could easily be 3, 4 inches of snow up in the Cascades on Monday. I may have to relook my forecast for that. But the bigger story is just realize this is all scattered precipitation as we go through Monday with um, expected sun breaks to develop. Not much wind in the coming days, period. Here's a look at the upper flow pattern courtesy of the GFS model. This is this afternoon. And as I play this into your Monday, notice how we just get ourselves right in the middle of this cold trough. The polar jet does come up a little bit. Notice it's right into Portland. I always associate that with about a 2,000-foot snow level, and that's what I think we're going to have tomorrow. But the bigger story that I want you to get out of this is just we're in the middle of this instability. So that's some breaks, scattered showers, some spotty downpours, and maybe we get some hail out of it as well. And then I've been saying all along that Tuesday we have an early shower chance. Otherwise, I like Tuesday being dry. I will share with you the weather models, and maybe they're smarter than me. Keep showing a shower chance lingering on Tuesday. But if you look at the ridging pattern, which is what I'm looking at, you would come up with a good chance of Tuesday, if not being mainly dry, is completely dry after an early shower chance. And then we're dry Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. But here's the next front. And this is a more rapid timing than when I talked to you back on Friday. So this is a front now coming in Wednesday evening. Last timing on the surface front was about 9 p.m. into Portland and Salem on Wednesday evening. So that's developing rain later in the day, Wednesday into Wednesday night. We have rain at times, or certainly likely showers with the cold trough passing on Thursday. And then there's another system that comes in Friday. You can see it right there. That's rain. And then notice on Saturday, see how the Friday front is right here. That's well into Montana. There's a little bump and ridging back here, but not much. And what weather models do is they take that Friday front, and then where you see the slight ridging, they push in some warmer air behind it coming in Saturday. So that would be developing rain Saturday. And then even though this shows some ridging, notice it's not a sharp ridge. It kind of lays down. There could be a boundary get hung up. We'd have occasional rain on Saturday and Sunday of this upcoming weekend. No strong cold fronts, though, showing up for a while. Here is even, let me see, this comes in, it looks like this is Thursday morning, a week from this. This is a week from this coming Thursday, Thursday, March 27th. And there's some active rain into the final weekend of March. That's Friday the 28th. And again, that the blue polar contour here, that's a snow level of 2,000 feet. And then we have showers for several days, and we get in potentially to that run of the warmer weather that I talked about around April 7th or 8th or somewhere in there. I do want to take a second and show you the Outlook products put out by NOAA. This is an easy website to remember. It's CPC Climate Prediction Center .nsep.noaa.gov. Maybe not that easy to remember, but this is what the outlooks are. So 6 to 10 days. This is March 21 through the 25th. Keeps our temperatures near normal to below, but still has certainly Washington in the bullseye of above normal precipitation, and still expect a precip expected down through all of Oregon. So let's go to the next time frame, which is March 23rd to the 29th. Now it's actually showing a chance of above normal temperatures, but also above normal rainfall. So to me, it makes more sense. And when I looked at everything, that maybe temperatures the 23rd through the 29th are a little bit closer to normal than what we have been seeing. But I think there's enough rain that it's going to hold temperatures down somewhat. Okay, let's go out. Well, we already the March outlook. Remember, was cold and wet. That's going to turn out to be true. The 3-day, or excuse me, the 3-month outlooks. This is March, April, May. This was issued all the way back on February 20th. So don't put much stock in this. And again, it's cooler and it's wet. Here's the more recent 3 to 4 week update. This is March 29th through April 11th. So this has the first half of this outlook, March 29 to April 5 or 6. That's cold and wet. And then after that, we go warmer. So you see the temperatures moderate to equal chances of being above normal or not. But enough moisture the first part of this period, the last Remember the last weekend of March, the rain expected. That's why that's in the above normal deal. I thought this is great news. I don't show you this much, but this is the U.S. Drought Monitor. And basically, what it's showing you, if you locate Oregon, there's no colors, no drought conditions whatsoever. This is current. Now, Western Washington in yellow, not a drought, but drier than normal. And then in the Washington Cascades, there's a moderate drought. But now take a look at the prediction, though. This is the U.S. monthly drought outlook. So this is what's projected over the coming 30 days. And it shows no drought conditions in Oregon and the drought conditions that are moderate in the Cascades of Washington and the Olympics expected to go away. So the seasonal outlook shows the same thing. It basically shows that the drought conditions up in Washington expected to go away and no drought conditions in Oregon. It does show, remember the California wildfires down in Southern California? It does show drought conditions persisting in Southern California up into Las Vegas, all of the southwestern US, and then up into the western plains of Nebraska and the Dakotas and Texas. Good news for us, not so great for our neighbors off to the east. Okay. All right. With that said, let's what do I want to do? I'll come back to this. I like to, I know some of you like it when we go around the horn here. So let me go to my regional page. Again, this is off of my weather site that I own and operate, portlandweather.com. All right. Let's see what's going on. Rain on Monday. Remember the cloud deck is still fairly thick down across southern Oregon with some persistent rain. And then Tuesday, a shower chance, partly sunny skies. And then we get back into some rain developing on Wednesday, Thursday, and into the weekend. But temperatures not as cool as they have been. In fact, by Sunday of this upcoming weekend, 60 degrees. That's Medford. Adam Pendleton, what we got? Rain chance on Monday, not much. Rain chance on Tuesday, not much. A dry Wednesday. And then rain chances do pick up out east into the weekend. Temperatures in the 50s. Again, not as cool as what we had been seeing up in Seattle. Slight chance of rain on Monday, then rain later in the day. Chance of rain on Tuesday. Remember that front that comes in late Wednesday hits Seattle before it hits Portland. So then that's rain from Wednesday on. And still pretty cool, actually. Daytime highs only around 50. So that's kind of similar to what you folks down there have been seeing. Here's Eugene. Monday shower. Again, this is where the cloud deck, the low cloud deck is going to be thicker than Portland and Salem. So showers likely. Scattered shower threat on Tuesday. Developing rain in the PM hours of Wednesday. And then there's that wet weekend coming up with some breezy winds at times and temperatures in the 50s. So again, and here's Salem. Just realize that overall, there's no change in the weather pattern that we've had all the way through the end of March. That means more rainy days than not, precipitation patterns above normal. In fact, some outlook work that I did show that over the next 30 days, Portland could get 4.80 inches of rain over the next 30 days. And remember, the final week of this 30-day outlook is dry. So really, it's the next 3 weeks, 4.80 inches of rain. If that's true, that would be way above normal by about 1.5 inches of rain. So we'll see. But boy, this shows that active weather and with temperatures generally below normal. Here's North Bend. Keep in mind for Portland, the normal high now is 57 and the normal low is 40. Here's North Bend. The rain on Monday, scattered showers Tuesday, Wednesday, and then again rain throughout. So that's a pretty great week with temperatures in the 50s. All right, here's my Portland 7-day forecast. And remember, I got to click on it, pardon me. Remember what I said about the normal high is 57 and the normal low is 40. So look at the 7-day real quick for Portland, courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros. There are no days with a high of 57 or warmer. So every single day, if I'm right, this coming week, in terms of a high temperature, will average below normal. Now, these numbers are a little bit warmer. Remember the last handful of days, we were in the 40s to about 50 or 51 at most. So this is about this coming week, 5 degrees warmer than last week, but still below normal. Sun and showers Monday, could be some spotty hail. Shower chance mainly early Tuesday. I really think Tuesday afternoon and night has a good chance of being dry. I think Wednesday morning has a good chance of being dry. Then some rain late in the day. Showers on Thursday, rain at times into the weekend, which is what you're looking at there. And I didn't show you the mountain, and it's pretty cool to look at. So before I let you go, from my Mount Hood weather ski forecast page on my weather site, brought to you by Hillcrest Ski Shop out in Gresham. So 20 inches of new snow over the weekend at Timberline, 21 at Meadows. They've got some sunbreaks now, 14 at Ski Bowl. Look at the bases. These are now the most depth of any base that we have seen this winter season. 160 inches on the ground at Timberline, 83 at Ski Ball, 150 on the ground at Mount Hood Meadows. It did get up to freezing today, so ODOT was able to get government camp Highway 26 in good shape. Santiam is still buried though, colder 28. Willamette Pass is buried. They had heavier snow. Although it's 32, they had heavier snow, so it's still wet. Siskiyou's wet, Cabbage Hill's wet. Just 1 to 3 inches up there Monday, not much Tuesday, dry Wednesday, then 4 to 6 coming Thursday, and 46 coming Friday. Again, snow levels, the highest snow level I show is a dry Wednesday afternoon at 4,000 feet. That's government camp. Otherwise, active precip days are all below the Cascade passes. All right. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. If you haven't subscribed and you would like to, please do so. It helps me out. I appreciate it. You'll be notified when I post. I'll talk to you soon.